Welcome to Quickin's Test Your Website video. This is some tips and tricks to understand your website. In this day and age, it's very important to have an internet presence, and by understanding how websites function and how search engines find them, you can improve your capture rate. First thing I'm going to explain is a little bit about left and right hand search engine listings. I'm going to type a typical search in here, in this case sunglasses, and as you'll see we have a various list on the left hand side and another list on the right hand side. On the left hand side, this is what's called natural selection, and depending on your page ranking depends on where you are on this list. And on the other side we have what's called sponsored links, the right hand side. This is more to do with paid advertising. 90% of all clicks on search engines happens on the first page. So primarily if you're not on this first page, you're not likely to be clicked. 80% of clicks come from the left hand side, natural selection, and the other 20% come from this paid advertising. So although you can pay to be on this site here, it's more important to focus on increasing your page rank on the left hand side. What I would suggest you do is have a look at and try and understand a little bit more about websites and search engines. And using something like Wikipedia, it gives you an overview of websites and how they're seen on the World Wide Web. For today's demonstration, it's important that you have Google Toolbar turned on. If you type Google Toolbar into Google, you'll come up with a screen similar to this. Install the Google Toolbar and just make sure the page rank function is turned on. If it's not turned on, just go to Settings, Options, and click on the Page Rank option there. Page Rank, again going back to this page here, relates to natural selection. The higher your page rank, the higher you will be on this list. If we use Wikipedia, one of the critical things to look at page rank is how many relevant websites direct themselves towards your website. The more links you have, or the more connections you have going into your website, the more important search engines see your website, the more relevant it is. So, let's have a look at the natural selection. If I click sunglass shop here, you'll see this website come up. Up the top here, if we just run our cursor over here, PageRank is Google's measure of the importance of the page, 5 out of 10. Let's go back to the search again, and we'll click on this one here. And what you'll see is got a 4 out of 10. So what you need to do to increase your page rank, one of the key things is create more relevant links going into your site. If you want to look how many links are going into a site, PageRank tool provides this. Just click the arrow, click backward links, and let's search for pages linked to the Sunglass Hut. And what you'll see here, these are all the links there, and you'll see there's only 7 links on that site. We'll just go back to the search page, look at this other page, and what you'll notice, if we look at backward links, it's 1,360, significantly more. So that is a major factor in increasing your page rank. Another thing you can look at is related searches. If I click on similar pages, this will illustrate the competition of your website. This is quite handy to understand who else you're competing with on the internet. And by using the PageRank tool, you can go into each of your competitors and have a look at how they're ranked. Another important thing you need to consider is how often the search engines see your website. Now, if you can get this search index down to 2 or less days, it means your site is quite active, which means the search engines are looking at your site on a regular basis. It's quite a good snapshot to see how good your website is also. And again, you can do this with all your competition. Let's go back to the main page we looked at. Something I'd like to explain is sponsored links. Now, at the moment, these sponsored links relate to a click-through rate. The amount someone wants to pay multiplied by the click-through rate increases your ranking. So the more relevant click-through rate is, the higher you'll be on this list. These are what's called sponsored links, and a very, very interesting fact, if you look down the page, as I mentioned earlier, if you're not on that top page, 90% of people will only click the top page. If we click further down to page 4, there's still sponsored links. And let's try page 9, more sponsored links. Keep going with that, page 12, more sponsored links. Page 14, and on we go. The problem you have here is these sponsored links relate to a cost of an advertising budget. If you're paying Google or if you're paying a marketing company to do your sponsored links, then unless you're on this first page, your marketing spend is pointless. It's very, very important to be on the first page. That was a brief overview of page ranking and natural selection. I hope you learned something there. If you'd like to learn more, please click on quicken.co.uk. Thank you.